For the first time in 4 decades, the Queensland Government is set to introduce rental reforms to Parliament next year. In a wide-ranging consultation process, 130,000 responses have been submitted to the government.
As a long-time Brisbane tenant, Offa Thanika has seen inner-city rents steadily climb.
I was probably paying something like $65 a week in a share house, to that eventually escalating the next year to 80, then to 100, then to 125, then to something like 235.
The 38-year-old music tutor had to leave West End, driven further away from the CBD due to cost.
Being able to get that physical contact or an ability to be able to just pop into someone's studio and see what they're up to and what they're doing is not available to me anymore.
The state government is now considering landmark rental law reforms for the first time in 40 years. On the agenda, everything from rental cost increase caps to making it easier for tenants to have pets at their property.
In Queensland, 34% of households are renting households, and many of them will be in that market for a long time. So it's time to modernise, really.
The Tenants' Union are encouraging a raft of reforms, including ending no grounds evictions, where at the end of a lease, landlords can end the tenancy for no reason.
People who are doing the right thing, living in a property that's remaining in the market, should be able to stay in that property. And I think that's a fair outcome.
I think it would be absurd to suggest that a landlord should be put in a position where they have no choice, where at the end of an agreed term, the tenant says, "I wish to stay," and the landlord is unable to say no.
The Real Estate Institute says any reforms need to be sensible so as not to spook investors.
We need to ensure that the regulatory framework is finely balanced and that it doesn't unfairly safeguard only one party.
The Department of Housing and the Residential Tenancies Authority are analysing the tens of thousands of survey results, comments and submissions. That will help guide the state government's rental reform bill, which is expected to be introduced to Parliament by the middle of next year. Offa, along with many other renters, will be hoping new legislation will hit the right note. Tim Swanston, ABC News, Brisbane.